Welcome back to another episode of The Lawyer You Know, and today we are again going to unpack the facts on another workplace COVID-19 vaccination requirement and how our country and how our court system is going to deal with it.
Hi, I'm Peter Tragos, host of the Lawyer You Know podcast and YouTube channel. The saying goes, everyone hates lawyers until you need one. Well, I'm here when you need one to answer your questions and give you insight that you didn't know you needed.
On this episode of The Lawyer You Know, we continue to discuss how this COVID-19 vaccination requirement in the workplace is going to unfold in our country. We have more and more companies requiring proof that you as an employee have been vaccinated for this COVID-19. But a lot of citizens are fighting back. A lot of local governments are fighting back against that. And we're going to see throughout the judicial system legally what happens, what can and can't be required, and what employees' rights are throughout this process. In Houston, a very large hospital has required its employees to get this COVID-19 vaccine or they are sending them on their way. Over 150 employees joined together and filed a lawsuit against that hospital. These are employees that work in the medical field and were on the front lines of fighting against this COVID-19 pandemic. They're now in the crosshairs of a lawsuit because they don't want to get this vaccination. The lead plaintiff, who is just the plaintiff in a class action lawsuit. If there's a lot of plaintiffs, one lead plaintiff is usually named. They're the ones whose name goes on the documents. They sign them. It's their statements. That's what goes in the court documents. This lead plaintiff said that this COVID-19 vaccine was dangerous and experimental, and it was akin to the Nazis' treatment of the Jews in the concentration camps in Germany during World War II. And the judge in this case has thrown out the lawsuit, calling it reprehensible to compare this COVID-19 vaccine to things like Nazi concentration camps. The judge also stated that the lead plaintiff can freely choose to accept or refuse a COVID-19 vaccine. However, if she refuses, she will simply need to work somewhere else. If a worker refuses an assignment, a changed office, an earlier start time, or other directive, he may properly be fired. Every employment includes limits on the worker's behavior in exchange for remuneration. That is all part of the bargain, the judge said. Remuneration is just pay for your service. This is the first case to come down that I've become aware of where someone actually filed a lawsuit saying that they should not be forced to take this vaccine, and a judge has just straight thrown it out. This is unusual. Cases don't get thrown out so often, especially high-profile cases. The plaintiff's lawyer said, we will be appealing. And the judge makes a lot of statements about employment law that I want to break down. But before we do, saying things like, anything today in America should be comparable to the way the Nazis treated the Jews during the Holocaust is probably not going to get you very far in the American judicial system. That is reprehensible. We really should not be comparing this. It's okay to not want to take the vaccine. It's okay to want your medical freedom. It's okay to want your medical privacy. It's okay to want to work where you want to work without having to take shots for something that you may feel is dangerous or experimental. It's okay to have those views, have those feelings. We can talk about that. We can discuss it. We can look at the science. We can debate it back and forth. But to say that we're in Nazi concentration camps because we're forced to get a vaccine, I don't think is the same thing. It's okay if you disagree with me, but the judge has thrown the case out, and I bet language like that added to the judge's kind of feeling in determining whether this was a viable case or not. But the plaintiff's lawyer said they would be appealing. These 150 plus workers are not going away, and they will not stand down easily. So one of the things the judge stated that we put the quote up on the screen for is that you can be fired for if you don't like changing start times, changing offices, changing how we do things around the office, and we want to fire you for that. That's absolutely correct. Unless you have a legitimate protected class reason for not wanting to do one of those things. Let's say you have some sort of disability that does not allow you to get up at 8 a.m., and you've always been able to start work at 11 a.m. and your boss says, nope, 8 a.m. now, that's when you have to wake up. If you can't do it, too bad, you're fired. They're discriminating against you based on your disability, okay? Now, what about religious reasons? If you've never had to work on Sundays because that's the day you go to church, boss changes your schedule, which is something the judge mentions, and says, now you have to work from 9 to 5 on Sunday. You can't go to church ever. And so now you've got to quit your job because of your religious gathering. That is not allowed. That is illegal. Therefore, your change in start time and change in schedule could absolutely be actionable against a private employer like in this case. So the judge didn't give all the details, and just at least this quote we found. I didn't read the entire opinion, I'm not going to lie. I'm just reading through news articles and what people are commenting about it. And the judge can't just say stuff like that because across the board, it's not true. Changing schedules, changing start times, changing what you have to do at work can absolutely be discriminatory, can absolutely be actionable. So we don't know if any of these employees have some kind of physical disability so they can't take the COVID-19 vaccine or some religious belief. That's been kind of the linchpins, and what a lot of the argument back and forth has been is, what if people do have a religious reason or a disability that keeps them from taking the COVID-19 vaccine? But I don't think making blanket statements like that about employment by the judge were very wise in this situation, because there actually are details that the judge has stated that could be actionable. So this is really important, because these are going to be cases coming down the pipe in our country, and I want to know what you guys think. We unpack the facts of these cases, but you guys are the potential jurors. You could be a jury on this trial. And if you were, how would you rule? Should employers be allowed to force this COVID-19 vaccination and proof that you've been vaccinated? Should they be able to? Or do you stand with the employees in this case, saying we should have medical freedom, we should have medical privacy? I shouldn't have to do what you tell me to do as far as taking medication, and I definitely shouldn't have to tell you whether or not I've been vaccinated in this situation. So that's the big question, and I really want to hear from you guys in the comments about what you think. If you enjoy these types of topics and you enjoy me unpacking the facts of what's going on in our country today, like this video and subscribe to our page, because there will be more of it in the future.
Thanks for watching this episode of The Lawyer You Know. If you like this content, please share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to our page and like our videos. If you want some interaction, get in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. If you want to know any more information about our firm or this page, you can find out in the description or visit tragoslaw.com. We post multiple times throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell so you can get the notification and not miss out on the next episode.